So they wanted something to help protect the immune systems of the warfighters. And they've been looking at quercetin. Another issue with the military is the #1 drug of choice with the warfighter, ibuprofen. The #1 drug of choice with the long-distance runner, ibuprofen. And we've conducted some research showing that 7 out of 10 of those athletes running the Western States 100-mile race use ibuprofen. And we found that ibuprofen causes the translocation of bacteria from the colon into the bloodstream and promotes post-race inflammation. It's a pro-inflammatory agent in the athlete, but it also causes mild kidney dysfunction. So endotoxemia combined with kidney dysfunction and inflammation. Here's just one slide, and that would be a whole talk just alone on what ibuprofen does to the exercising athlete. But as you can see here, if you know C-reactive protein, you're typically supposed to be below 1, and these runners were 0.4 before the race. Look what happened after the race in those using ibuprofen. And they used 2,400 milligrams during the race, 40 versus about a 27.5 or so. Significantly elevated inflammation due to using ibuprofen because of the endotoxemia. So the military is wanting a substitute for the ibuprofen and something that would help the warfighter get through. So it was quercetin. Now, if you look at quercetin in cell culture, it looks like gold. And so many of these things look great in cell culture and in animal studies. And quercetin is found in the skin of apples and berries. It's in many fruits and vegetables. And we work with a company that has extracted it, and it's in pure form. And here it is. It's a yellow-green pigment. And we decided to do 2 human studies with the military to see if this would help protect the immune systems of their warfighters. The military said, look, our best warfighters are more like a cyclist triathlete than a bodybuilder. You can have the bodybuilders. We don't want them, the military said. We need the total athlete that looks more like a triathlete. So they said, in your lab, set up a 3-day exercise period where for 3 hours they exercise heavily, and before they get in there, give them quercetin, 1,000 milligrams a day. That's 100 apples worth of quercetin a day for 3 weeks, or placebo. And then, after 3 weeks, put them through a 3-day war mission in the lab, 3 hours a day, and we took 4 muscle biopsies to simulate wounds, plus we wanted to see what's happening in the muscle. And then we also took almost 1 liter of blood. So they were like they're in a war mission. And then we looked at sickness rates, all of this in the wintertime. The military wanted us to do it in the wintertime with a lot of natural virus around, then to look at sickness rates. So what did we find? We found that the quercetin knocked down the incidence of post-exercise illness during the winter way down. I mean, it was a huge difference in sickness rates. The placebo group had the typical increase in illness. Look what happened in those using quercetin. But it didn't knock down inflammation or oxidative stress. So the military said, well, go to the Western States, do it out there. So we did the same design out there. And we looked at 3 weeks of quercetin before the race and then during the race. And here's the midway point right there. Those guys have been running already for about 12 hours. And the average temperature that year was 110 degrees Fahrenheit in the cans. Very hot race. Starts in Squaw Valley, goes up through the mountain passes, and then down through the canyons to the end of the race. It didn't work there either. Quercetin was not anti-inflammatory. It knocked down illness rates again, but it did not knock down inflammation and oxidative stress. So then, at the North Carolina Research Campus, we have some of the world's best scientists in food, and they said, look, you guys are crazy using the pharma approach with polyphenols. You don't get one of them and then give 100 apples worth. Whoever taught you to do that? That's the pharma approach. That doesn't work with flavonoids and polyphenols. Those things have to be used together in a cocktail approach, just like Mother Nature puts them in together, because they are synergistic, they work together. So basically bioavailability is improved, you have less competitive inhibition, less efflux if you mix flavonoids together. They said don't use the pharma approach, use flavonoid cocktails. So we said okay. And so what we did the whole thing over again in the lab. But this time we used these chews that had green tea extract, EGCG, with quercetin and fish oil. And we added vitamin C and some folate. So it was a cocktail nutrient flavonoid fish oil supplement. And look what happened. Yep, okay. So what we have here is 2 weeks of supplementation. That's the placebo group. And then after 3 days and the next morning, this is quercetin alone, and this is the quercetin cocktail. Knocked inflammation in half. So the mixture is the way to go. It definitely is the way to go. So what we've done now is shown that quercetin knocks down illness rates, but you got to mix it with stuff for it to be an ibuprofen substitute. You have to mix, you have to produce a cocktail, or else it doesn't work. So what I want to do in closing, in just a second, here's a review paper we did showing that the fruit vegetable extracts are antioxidative and anti-inflammatory. These are extracts where you take the cherry skins and you get the whole extract, the apple skins, or blueberries. So you keep all of the polyphenols and feed it to the athlete in extract form. Or, in this study, we gave it to them in beer. And some of you may be aware of this study, sponsored by Erdinger. And what it was at the Munich Marathon, they had non-alcoholic beer, either with the polyphenols in it or without, for 3 weeks before the race. And then we looked at post-race inflammation and sickness rates. To me, the amazing data is the sickness rates in those drinking the non-alcoholic beer with the polyphenols was significantly reduced compared to those drinking the placebo non-alcoholic beer. And very importantly, it knocked down IL-6. It was an anti-inflammatory. So everything that you really want as an ibuprofen substitute is just drink the beer, and you got it. If you got a polyphenol shot, a cocktail that does all of that. So at our lab, we continue to look at all kinds of supplements and all kinds of exercise regimens. We're focusing on the fact that most of the polyphenols get to the colon. And then the bacteria eat them. And then release little phenolics, smaller ones, back into the body. And exercise enhances that. This is our newest research. We just did metabolomics documenting that most of the polyphenols are coming back out of the colon after the bacteria chomp them down. And those have antioxidative and anti-inflammatory effects. So, yes, I'm done. Which is this good or bad? Because it's a huge debate. Is it okay to give polyphenols and carbohydrate knocking down inflammation, oxidative stress, or is it going to affect training adaptations? And if I put all the literature together, and it's all over the place, the best studies are saying it probably does not affect training adaptation when you knock down inflammation. To me, the best analogy is ice pack on a swollen ankle. We know that that reduces tissue damage and enhances repair. You're taking the edge off the inflammation, and then there's less tissue disruption and better repair. I think polyphenols and carbohydrate together is the future of sports nutrition, and it takes the edge off the swelling, inflammation, oxidative stress and immune dysfunction that the athlete experiences after the marathon. Thank you very much.